the narrative came where Asagi is a f***ing midfielder? No. Where the f*** did that come from? But they didn't need to do that to Nigeria. That was the point. I'm like, okay, all right. I think we're doing a little bit too much now. I think we're being a little bit petty to Nigeria. I'm so glad that that last arc got confirmed, because on the bottom it says new Gen 11 player Loki. Yeah, no Loki's a new Gen 11 player. Welcome to the Manga Podcast, where we talk about various manga throughout the week. I am here to talk about many different manga that happens or that I read and I will discuss. As always, as a typical preamble, if you are reading or watching something and if you are ahead of time, please, there's spoilers ahead. I am giving you fair warning. I am giving you fair warning. I am giving you fair preparation. I am going to be talking about spoiler shit in here, so if you do not want any spoiler shit in here, do not continue, which I will completely understand, but I am going to be talking about a lot of spoiler shit. I'm going to see you out House this week. See you out House, darling. I can't wait to see you. Love you. Love you. Kisses and hugs all the way, and have a wonderful day at work, and have a good rest of your week. Spoiler Zaddy. Thank you, darling. Thank you. Slay, girl. I appreciate you so much. Yes. I will be talking about various manga here. If you do not want spoilers, back out of the spoiler territory, because we're going into spoiler territory, because we got a lot of stuff to talk about today, because we are going to be talking about what I think is probably one of the big hot button stuff for this week, which is the Blue Lock and Nigerian match that just ended this week or last week. The most recent chapter we got, at least the one that I know that has been officially, I think, released in English, was the match just finishing. I've seen some of the leaks, some of the translations. I've seen some of the leaks and some of the translations for the aftermath of what happens, and I have also seen the Spanish translation, which I have no dialogue context whatsoever. I do have a lot of what do we call it? But I do have visual context on the most recent release chapter that was in Spanish, which visually is a lot and does actually confirm quite a lot, which is actually very, very big. But of course, the last time I talked about Blue Lock, if you have been a follower of the TikTok or YouTube or Twitch, the last time I talked about Blue Lock, I think in particular when was the last time it was talking about season 2. So it was the U20 match that I talked about Blue Lock, where it was all of the U20 Japan team versus Blue Lock. If Blue Lock won, they would have become the new Blue Lock, through their process, would have decided the new U20 team, which, before we get super deep into the Blue Lock stuff, I do slightly want to talk about I do slightly want to talk about specifically, just quickly go through the Neo Egoless League, because I've never been through that. I never specifically got through that. I never really was able to get through that at some point. So I at least do want to go ahead and get through it as best as I can, for the most part, and at the very least, share a little bit of my thoughts when it comes to the actual NEL league, the NEL arc that happened So first off, Kaiser, great character. Love Kaiser. I loved his interaction with Sagi. He was fucking great. I loved what they did with each of the what was it? With each of the clubs. All of the clubs and designs were fucking great. When it came to PXG, when it came to Bastard Munich, when it came to oh my god, I'm trying to remember all of the teams. FC Barca, I think that's how I would say it, because it's not FC Barca, based on FC Barca. Manshine City and Ubers, which all of the designs were great. All of the designs were cool. I think each of the, I'm not surprised about the outcome for who ranked at the top. Well, a little bit, but we'll get to that a little at a certain point. But like, obviously, each team had its like overall Japan stars, right? Like, Bastard Munich had like Isagi, a couple, like probably had the most stars, but Isagi was like definitely the top dog in that. PXG, Rin and Shido was kind of sharing that. Ubers was definitely Bado, with Aiku being like the defensive star alongside Don Lorenzo. Manshine had Reo and Nagi really be the ones to shine out, along with, even though, like, you know, Nagi didn't officially make it, but we'll get to him. Oh, trust me, we'll get to Nagi at some point. And then we had the one that I am disappointed about is that FC Barca did not get, like, any time at all. Because, and, like, FC Barca, for as much as all the teams had their time, I don't know why, but they just did not give, FC Barca, like, any fucking time. Because Manshine had this story with, oh, how is Nagi and Reo's relationship gonna go? Sorry, I need to drink water. Jesus Christ, I need something in my system. With, PXG, it had the whole thing of like Rin story and like Shido and Gabriel. They got like a really good amount of time on that. When it came to what was it? When it came to the Ubers, it was all about like Bado trying to like transform himself, but him going against Snuffy and bringing Snuffy out of like retirement and shit like that. And then when it came to those were the three teams. And then FC Barca, it was more of just kind of like a setup thing. It was just kind of like oh yeah, whatever, it's fine, just play Barca. It's whatever. Like, they'll have their stories, they'll have their thing, but this is definitely more of a setup to just set up what Bastard Munich is in himself. And obviously, Bastard Munich BM had like the most screen time of whatsoever. And each of those teams, for anyone who says it, because I've seen so many takes on this, so I'm just going to spitball a couple of just general ideas when it comes to the actual plot points for some of that. One, probably, I think, like, my biggest contention, I don't understand what people see in Ikaguru, I forget his fucking name, but the monk dude who, you know, prays the three shines and shit like that. I don't necessarily see what people, I didn't for the longest time. I do sort of now, but it's just kind of one of those things where obviously he's kept at a certain place, he's kept at a certain point. I don't understand why people are so infatuated with him so fucking much. I think it's stupid. I think he's like the most like overhyped character. Like, you want to talk about an overhyped character? I think Ikaguru is the most overhyped character in Blue Lock, and it's crazy because he came back with a little bit of drip to help Nagi after he was knocked out, and then people fucking all of a sudden super loved him. People liked him, and I'm not gonna lie, Ikaguru has some fucking really good action panels. Like, there's a lot of his action panels in the only match he played for Bastard Munich when he was trying to pin down Rin. Those action scenes he has, they go fucking hard, and he does have a really athletic body, which is why I really like him and how he plays. But dude, like, he was so like, And I even read for context because everyone I was talking to was like, "Oh, you gotta read like the Nagi side because that's like where him and Shido played together, and you see like how good he is there." And I get it; his whole talent is supposed to be he's able to like create fouls, but like again, with someone who's easily able to adapt super easily, is able to get countered super easily. Rin was able to counter it after like what? 2 interactions with him, like interacting with Ikaguru, so it was fucking whatever. Second plot point. Second thing I wanted to bring up. Ubers didn't lose through plot. I don't think people understand how fucking soccer works, and that's what the thing upsets me. Because I think coming out of the NEL arc, there's a lot of people who were talking about, oh, Baro and all of them lost to fucking the Bayern Munich because of plot. On paper, they're like the best team. On paper, it's like, yeah, defensively, they're on the best team. But you gotta remember, yeah, their team is very adaptable. Mark Snuffy probably has the most tactical mind within the 5 Masters. Baro, and the way that they had structured everything around Baro, was actually built pretty fucking well. But people need to understand that Bayern Munich is a more well-rounded team. They have this defense when it comes to people like Raichi and Corona. They have the attacking power with people like Kaiser and Asagi. They have those weird-ass wildcards that they can pull out, like fucking Kunigami and Hiyori. They have a well-rounded team that's also able to superly fucking adapt. Yet people somehow don't actually understand that for some fucking reason. I don't know why it's so difficult for people to understand that. And I think they only say that because I think the Blue Lock fandom really wants a really good defensive lockdown team. And I understand that. I understand why you want that, and I understand why you would need that. But you need to understand that's not Blue Lock. that's like a defensive team with like very little proper striking options is going to get beat by a well-rounded team. I'll never understand why this is a narrative that like the Blue Lock fans want to push of Ubers being the most like dominant team on paper. And like maybe if you like once you add the Masters on the field, maybe with Snuffy, because Snuffy I think is one of the only like 2 Masters that can like really put down Noah consistently. Like, obviously we saw Lavio score, but that was more of the fault for Misagi. And like Chris Prince was holding him down, but I think he's too cocky for his own good. Loki can pin down Noah, but I am on the side of he is more of just a natural speed demon, and he relies a lot on speed, which is fair, because that's not as different as somebody like a Chigiri or a Zengetsu, who, like, they rely on a lot of their speed, which is good. Zeph, hello, hi, I am hydrating, don't worry, I am hydrating, don't worry. I am doing the good stuff, I promise, which I needed. I drank a lot last night, so Jesus fucking Christ. I really fucking need it. But I like how you're spamming some with all this stuff. I don't know why it's not all working. Don't waste all your points, because I don't even know if the sounds are gonna come through. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, all right. You do use F. You do use F. Spam it. I don't even know if they were working right now. I don't know if they're gonna come in. I don't know why. You might have broke the system. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't know why they're not working. I hope they're going off. I don't even know if they are. Back to the thing. I will never understand why that whole system is just. I don't know why people latch so hard and so much to the Uber stuff. It makes no reasonable fucking sense to me, and I will never actually truly get it. Also, Zeph, if you're still there, let me know if the sounds aren't actually working. Thank you for the subs, Zeph. I appreciate it. I love you. I appreciate it a lot. I appreciate it with all the love. Also, yeah, let me know if the sounds are working. I don't have my headphones on because I don't want my headphones on right now. But do let me know if the sounds are actually working, because that means I might need to actually go ahead and fix it at some point. But yeah, I've been rambling. Long story short, I will never understand why people like Ubers. I know why people like Ubers. Ubers, I think, character building wise, I do like them the most, because they are the type of people, they are that team I think I like the most, because they have Baro, they have my favorite new Gen 11 when it comes to Don Lorenzo, which I know he didn't show the fuck out and people complained about that, but I think Don Lorenzo is like my, like, at least personality wise, is my favorite new Gen 11, because everyone else seems kind of just cocky or whatever, but like Don Lorenzo is so carefree about anything. I'm actually surprised. Backstory wise, it makes sense why he is with. Actually, no, that's not true. I would take back what I was gonna say. I was gonna say he was so carefree. I'm surprised he wasn't attached to somebody like Lavio. But I actually completely understand why someone like Don Lorenzo wasn't actually attached to Lavio, because Don Lorenzo is more of a person who's doing stuff for the sake of the money and the sake of pride, while Lavio is someone that just kind of does it for the love of the game. Also, Zeph, I like how you spam the emotes. I love you. You have way too. Yeah, I know it's technically not morning for you, but you have so much energy in the morning. It is insane. It's funny. I love it. I love it, and I love you. You're fucking amazing. God, is there anything else I want to talk about? Oh, I'm actually super disappointed Gabriel didn't get more time in the NEL League. I feel like he was super hyped up as this like young star that could be even like that could be like better than any of the like new Gen 11s potentially, but like we only saw him show out once, which, to be fair, his show out is really good, because the only other person that could pass as well as that to Shido was Sai, which definitely puts you on that level, which is good. I can use the emotes I made, lol. That is nice, and they're very cute emotes, which for anyone that's watching this on the rewind stuff, please follow Zafira, favorite person. I need to learn how to do the shout out stuff on like Streamlabs and shit, because I have no actual loving clue how to do it. Shows how much of a good streamer I am, because I just don't know how to do like half of this shit. So my apologies, but for anyone who is watching on the TikToks or on like Twitch or anyone like that, please follow Safira. She should make a YouTube where she could at least re-upload her streams, you know, to help with the growth, cause that would be convenient, and I could help her promote that, you know, YouTube as well, you know. But yeah, you know. To each your own. No pressure. I don't want to force you to do anything you don't want to. Okay, so like, what we go over. Kaiser was a really good character. Loved his background. Shush. Yeah, you shush, but you know I'm right. Kaiser was a really good character. Really, oh, that fucking pairing that Kaiser and Isagi made towards the end of the PXG Max, fucking beautiful. I love that so much, and Isagi's evolution through all of that is amazing. Also, I don't know where the fuck the narrative came where Isagi is a fucking midfielder. No. Where the fuck did that come from? Okay, sure, he is playing more, he's playing very deep for what should be in a striking position. I understand that, but motherfuckers, when did we ever consider Isagi a midfielder? And I know people are gonna go off and they're gonna be like, "Oh, Isagi's a midfielder because he's going up and down the field. He's the most adaptive player. He should be a field fielder." No, motherfucker, he is doing that in order to devour people so he can add that into his own reactions. I don't understand how people get that. I don't understand how people work like that. You guys are fucking insane. I don't get that. The big thing I want to take away from the NEL arc as well, especially the aftermath. I extremely loved how there were so many motherfucking people who were just so happy to see Nagi go, right? Oh, Nagi, he was a fraud anyways. He was just a natural born talent that had a small cap. And everyone was so happy that Nagi was gone. And the entire time, I remember just sitting there in like the Blue Lock community and the Blue Lock comments being like, oh, Nagi's not coming back. It doesn't make sense. We told you he was coming back. We told you he was coming back. We understood he was coming back, and everyone just constantly complained. All the Asagi fans, all the delusional Igaguru fans who thought that he was properly coming back, which, to be fair, he's most likely going to come back at some point in like later in the arc. I wouldn't be surprised at all if it gets to like later on. I wouldn't be surprised. We will talk about that later because I have my own thoughts because there's a lot that we actually have to talk about after the Nigerian match as well. But yeah, it was so funny watching all the Nagi haters hate on all the Nagi fans because he got eliminated so close. Big calling him Nagi a fraud, Nagi for that. And what did he say? He was gonna come back. Now, do I completely like the fact that he came back? No. But obviously, it's supposed to show a different type of plot point. Obviously, it is supposed to have the kind of contention on how this next arc is going to be. People need to understand that that is the case and that is how it's supposed to be. Nagi was always going to come back one way or another. He's too important and given too much time. The man was quite literally given his own side story. You are not eliminating the character who has his own side story out like that. Or if you are going to do that, it's going to be in the style of like what everyone assumes Chigiri is going to go through, right? Where everyone assumes that Chigiri is going to re-injure himself again or something like that, and they're going to have to, like, you know, he's going to have to bring him out. It's going to be in a style of like that where it's going to be way more dramatic. He's not just going to get eliminated. He was obviously built up as somebody who is supposed to be this like more highbrow character in the sense of like, oh, I'm going to be the character who's going to come back bigger, better, all this shit, super hyped, whatever. Like, it's supposed to be this extremely, massively big fucking moment of just of like, I'm gonna make this big comeback, and he did. And to all the people who are Nagi fans are just like, oh well, why is he going against Blue Lock? You're also delusional, because that was the only way it's gonna happen. Ego was never going to let him back into Blue Lock. Ego was never going to allow him to come back jauntily. He was going to come back as the villain. He was going to come back as the bad guy because that's how it always was supposed to be. That's how it always was supposed to be. That's how it was going to be. That's how it was set up to. And you know what? That's what I want. I want Nagi to be the villain. I want Nagi to be so determined to be the best in the world now that he doesn't care about anything. Remember, Nagi cared about his friends. He cared about being with people, which is why it made him lose. It's why he failed. And Asagi learned that very often. He's around people that will support him, but are just as egotistical and as devour hungry as he is. Nagi and Rail's relationship did not work because they were satisfied with the friendship, not with winning. So that's why Nagi needs to be the villain. He needs to throw out all his volition and all his care and all of his friendships in order to be the good player he needs to be. You know what the best? Obviously, there are certain characters that like have the certain personalities of certain ones. When I say this, I am not saying one for one, Nagi is this football player. I'm just saying that Nagi needs the personality of this football player. You know what he needs to be? He needs to be a Zlatan. He needs to be a Imahirovic. He needs to be Zlatan Imahirovic. He needs to not give a fuck and be the most egotistical fucking player in the fucking world. And people will love him for it. People will love him for it because he will develop a new personality. He knows he has talent, and he knows he can get better. And he could be the best, and he knows that he will be the star of anything he's a part of. He needs to be on that level. I'm a Nagi stan 100% of the way. I want everybody to know that. I am a Nagi lover 100% of the way. No doubt about it. 100%. Now, also as well, I think we've covered. I think we covered the NEL arc pretty well. So let's go ahead, and now we can properly start on the first match, which is Nigeria. Now, if I'm remembering correctly, I think the current bracket, let me check real quick. What is the Blue Lock group? No. That's not. Who is Blue Lock playing in the World Cup? I mean, because oh my god. I like how the AI thing was like, just so you know, it's not the actual World Cup. And I was like, hey, no fucking shit, dumbass. How about you actually give me the proper World Cup, like, ooh, is the camera not able to see me? Ooh, Jesus Christ. Oh, my neck was bent. And I was like, no shit, Sherlock. How about you give me the actual Blue Lock, like, stuff, please? Because I would appreciate that very much so compared to anything else you're giving me. So I know they played France, and I know they played Nigeria, which already happened. I'm trying to remember if they played Spain. I can't remember. Who is Japan playing in the Blue Lock World Cup arc? Oh, Nigeria, France, England. Okay, alright, okay. In that case, that does very much change what I think was going to happen. So it's it is Japan, it is France, it is Japan. No. Sorry, Jesus Christ, I'm fucking up. My bad. Hold on, give me a second. So in that arc, it is going to be Japan is facing Nigeria, which already happened, France, which is happening next, and then England, which is happening last. Okay. That changes a lot of what my prediction was going to be then. That does actually change what my prediction for how this arc was going to go be. So, the Nigeria match. I don't know if you've seen it. I don't know if you've heard much of it. I'm going to be completely honest. Brother, it did not have to go down the way it did. That was awful for Nigeria at the very least, because the Blue Lock team, which is now currently the Japan team, basically came out and mollywopped the fuck out of them. There's like no other way to explain it. Like the first half, like Nigeria came out super hype, and they hyped up Nigeria. They hyped up Nigeria very well. They won the African Cup. This was like the first time they won in a while. It's just like the future of Africa. It was like the Kings of Africa. They were dubbed as. So like they were setting up Nigeria as like no slouches. Like they would be like, okay, this Nigerian team at the very least they have some big stuff ahead of them. They got like some stuff attached with them. And so like, you know, they set it up, and like, if I'm going to be that asshole, I think everyone kind of expected that that Japan was going to shit on Nigeria. I don't think that's I don't think that was like a hard take. I don't think that was like a hot discussion, because we've seen what France can do. We could see what England can do. And we've seen what Japan could do, of course, throughout the entire series. So, like, I mean, I'm kind of not surprised. I'm very much not surprised, if I'm being completely honest with you. I don't think anybody is surprised, if I'm being completely honest with you, just because of how easy it was, man. It was just too easy, because the first half they just didn't let up. I don't think there was ever really like a good momentum time where Nigeria was like properly up. Like Nigeria had their moments, right? Like there were points where they were like they had like targets on goal and stuff like that. But obviously, one of the best characters in the show, Gakamaru, the goalie of the fucking year, goalie of the fucking story so far, completely just locked that down whenever they got the chance. But also, just the sheer amount of fucking bullshit, the sheer amount of fucking ass-handery that happened was on an insane level. I think it was, because if I'm correct, the first goal went to Rayo. No, yes, yeah, yes, I think it was Rayo. Yes, I think the first goal went to Rayo because he showed off his copy ability, which was fucking insane. Like, the fact that he could copy so well to the point where he could basically just mimic a whole character is broken, and arguably is one of the most broken abilities in the entirety of Blue Lock. The only thing I think is more broken is Isagi's adaptability, which that's always fucking insane, where Isagi's adapting so well, he's basically just copying fucking abilities himself, which is also insane. But also, like, that was just so easy and it was just so early. And then after that, I think they ran it back to give, I think Bachira got a goal, I think it was. Because I think they all tried, but I'm pretty sure Bachira got a goal. And then Nigeria tried, and then they got blocked by the fucking bear himself, Gagamaru, shutting that shit fucking down the best way that he can, which is not surprising at all whatsoever. I'm not surprised by that in the slightest. But then also, we get to the fucking point where it's halftime, and like Nigeria is down, and Onazi is like trying to hype people up, trying to hype people good, and Blue Lock is just they're just chilling. They're just like, cool. And they treat Nigeria like such fucking peasants. Isagi and them are just like, alright, then let's try like this new tactic. Like, to the point where now they're just stunning on them. And when I mean stunning on them, I mean like they're trying out new shit. Like on the fly, off the bat, like off the flow, off the rip, off the dome. They're just thinking of new shit. And I'm just like, how is that fucking possible? Also, give me a second. I think my thing is all fucky wucky, I think it is. No, oh no. Okay, that's just my head position. That's just my head position and the way I'm set up. But yeah. Oh yeah, I think it is. But yeah, they came out all day. They're stunned on Nigeria. Like Nigeria came out with a new fever. Like, bro, we should all try for our own goals. We should all try to reach for the top. And like, and they were just like, oh, okay, so we're just gonna stunt on you. So much that like Ren's own adaptability came to the point where like he created this out of the blue, over the top, over the back of Isagi flip goal that is fucking insane. I guess Isagi gets the assist there. So then it's like 3-0. And then they try one more time where like they're just like, okay, no, we're going to sit there and we are going to not fight back. Javier, I don't know why the lurk is not working. It should work. I'm upset that it's not, and it's kind of pissing me off. My stream is so fucked and so scuffed. I need to check why shit is not working. It upsets me so much. I am so sorry. I am so sorry for being a bad streamer and a bad content creator. But also, like, holy, like, motherfuckers are doing shit, and then they're like, oh, okay, well, how about let's go ahead and let's actually like start attacking shit. Let's actually go and do shit. Let's fully attack this motherfucker. Let's fully like go on head on and start this bitch. And they try to no avail whatsoever, because of course it doesn't fucking work, because it's the blue, it's Nigeria. I don't. If anyone came into this match, the first match of the U20, and you 100% thought that Nigeria had an actual chance, you are delusional. You are delusional, and you are insane. Now, France and England, obviously those are completely different. We've seen at least have a somewhat idea of what they can do. I think, actually, you'd be very curious to see, because I think we'll see some people who were in the NEL League. I think Agi might be one of them, but I'm not 100% sure. Hold on. How old is Agi from Blue Lock? Agi might be older, but he's introduced as a forward for the U20 team. Yep, he's the forward. He's a forward for the U20 League. So we are going to see Agi come up again in the U20. Oh, no. Gabriel's France. But that is interesting. We are, so like, again, the reason why France and England are so different, obviously, is due to the fact that Nigeria has only really heard of Blue Lock and they've seen them play, but they haven't really experienced anything that the Blue Lock people have to offer. France has both Loki and Gabriel, who have experienced what Blue Lock is. Even if a specific player, which I have yet to mention, which we'll talk about later, thinks that they're kind of uninspired, Loki and Gabriel understand what Blue Lock can offer and are obviously very wary of Blue Lock. England has Augie, who knows the potential at the very least of what Blue Lock has, and has even gone against, and all three of those characters, Gabriel, Loki, and Augie, have gone against Asagi. So they're like, okay, well, we know exactly what this kid can do. So that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. So we probably have to we can't take them lightly. We can't treat them like they're fucking pushovers. We actually got to go. Which sucks, because I actually think with the story that they told of how, like, the Nigerian team, of, like, there's a set of Nigerian players that have been, like, friends, and they've been friends for, like, since childhood, and they all rally around Onazi, and they're kind of their center core piece. It's either going to be a thing where we either see them evolve. Well, we've already seen them kind of evolve, but it's either we see them evolve properly. Either we see them evolve properly in the World Cup, and maybe they'll get something off, which I don't think is happening. Or what I think will happen is, I think they're going to go 0-3. I think it happens. It happens with some people. There's some people that it just happens to. It's unfortunate. Because I'm not going to lie, if they can't beat Japan, they do not have a chance against England, and they definitely do not have a chance against France. Abso-fucking-lutely not. If they get destroyed by Japan 4-0, and keep in mind, France on paper does technically have the better team with Loki and Gabriel, and Agi's on that team, so he has at least somewhat of an experience with it, so that one's going to be a bit of a challenging match. But it's gonna be a bloodbath for Nigeria. Nigeria is going to have such a bad showing in the U20 World Cup. It's going to be a bad showing. It's going to be a very, very bad showing. Oh yeah, the third goal was Rin, and then Onazi like evolves trying to do his own goal as he does like a cool backspin, not backspin, but a cool like turnaround trap spin into like a shot attempt, which Gagamaru, the bear, the goat, is able to block, but Corona, who got substituted out for Hiyori and Chigiri, are able to clear. Corona and Raichi went in there, which, by the way, I gotta say this also, because I've been also seeing it as well. Anybody calling Hiyori a fraud, y'all are insane. Obviously, there were people in the game who didn't do fucking much, right? There's not many people who are shown, there's not many people who are aware, but the reason for that is because, you know, there are people that play their roles. Hiyori played his role pretty fucking well. Everyone in that team played fucking well. Also, I need to comment on it as well. Everyone's like, oh, why they picked this lineup? It should have been Baro. It should have been Shido. I swear, half the Blue Lock fan base doesn't understand how soccer works. You guys do not understand how soccer works, or at least like the idea of like how to build like a proper like sports team. The current lineup that they have, which I think their current 11 that they have, which I think should be the starting throughout the entire World Cup, is Rin, Asagi, Chigiri, Reo, Bachira, Gagamaru. Oh my god, I'm trying to remember all the names. Karasu, Aiku. Oh my god, I didn't count that. Hold on. My bad. Hold on. Give me a second. Isagi, Rin, Reo, Bachira, Chigiri, Jesus fucking Christ. Isagi, Rin, Chigiri, Bachira, Reo, Gagamaru, Aiku, Karasu. Oh my fucking god, I need like a few more people. Oh, no. Arui, which I think he was there. I think Arui was there. I wanna say Nico. I think Nico was on the field. I'm forgetting one more person, and it's going to kill me that I'm not remembering that person. Because I even said Gagamaru, so I'm forgetting who else was on that field. It's someone, and I don't even fucking remember. Oh, the ninja guy. That's who he was. Oh, I'm trying to remember his name. I don't remember, but you know who I'm talking about. But that starting 11 is definitely the most well-rounded team, like at all. You add anybody else, you add Raichi, you add Corona, adding Raichi and Corona from ego standpoint was more of a defensive tactic, because Raichi and Corona are more defensive players. Or, like, in the sense of, you have the lead, you want to keep the lead, Raichi is going to play very aggressive defense in order to take away the ball, and Corona is very good at like recovery and passing and all that stuff. So bringing in those two, switching them out for Hiyori and Chigiri, who are more of the offensive type for that type of stuff, makes a lot of sense. Corona could be offensive, but Corona plays both sides very well. Hiyori, not so much. But Corona, I do think plays both of those sides very well. Which is why, as much as I like Shido and Bado, keep in mind, I like Shido and Bado more than I like Rin and Asagi. I can also admit, because I'm not delusional, Rin and Asagi are going to be the better starters because they're willing to be more malleable when it comes to playing. You can't put Bado on the field with that many people because Bado is very hard to play with. He is a very explosive player. He is a player that doesn't really go with a plan, so it's very hard. And Shido plays at such a high level sometimes that not every pass is going to be successful. Rin and Asagi both play in a way that's not like downplayed or like playing down a level, but their level of play adapts to everybody else. And we see it here. Asagi and Rin both adapted within this game. Rin using Asagi on his back, and Asagi taking Onazi's goal in order to score. Which is why both of them got a goal in this first match. Because they're adaptable, they're reasonable, they're malleable. Shido and Baro are not adaptable. Baro, I think, has learned to be a bit more adaptable after working with Snuffy, but he also kind of rejected that as well. I think he has a sense of malleable in the sense of it has to be his way that's going to benefit his way. I think he is more willing to change as long as the change is something that puts him on top and more beneficial. But Rin and Asagi are willing to make more trustworthy plays, which is why they're the ones that started over Shido and Baro. So, learn tactics, please, because watching for the Blue Lock fan plays constantly fucking go off about this shit gets very fucking annoying sometimes. I'm going to be fucking honest with you. Like, there's motherfuckers who'll sit there being like, oh, Shido is such a better player. His finishing is so much better. It's like, bro, Bado's expressiveness and his striking is fucking so much more powerful than Rin and Asagi's, and that's probably true. But you can't put them on a field with many fucking people. You would need to pull out multiple different people in order for them to play with each other, to the point where you don't have enough substitutions in the game for that stuff. Now, I think in a different scenario, and when you're going against someone aggressive and you're like, well, they know how we play, so we gotta change it up. That's what I think could potentially happen a lot better, because in the sense of, oh, we have to change it up a bit more for France, because France knows how we play. Or we have to change it a bit up more because, England knows how we play. So, I understand it to, that degree in the sense of, oh, we have to change it because this specific type of team knows how we play. I understand it to that point, I understand it to that degree, but motherfuckers need to understand how shit works in soccer, because y'all motherfuckers don't know. Oh, shit. The current Blue Lock team is just the well-rounded team. That's the all-around team. That's the all-around team that has the really good defense when it comes to fucking Aiku and his boys. They have people like Hirori Chigiri and Hirori Chigiri Reo and Karasu somewhere in the fucking midfield, because those are the people that can go back and forth really well and know how to adapt that way. And then they have Asagi along with Rin and Bachira as well, because those are going to be some of your best strikers that are also going to be the most malleable and most adaptable when it comes to many situations. That's the all-around lineup. That's the lineup. That is the default lineup, hands down. And if you disagree that the 11 that we got in this Nigeria match is not the default, then you just don't understand how the game works. There's nothing else to say. You just don't know how the game works. It's the default. That may seem a little harsh. I may be coming off a little bit antagonistic. I'm going to be completely honest with you. You just don't know how the game works. That is the all-around team, hands down. Apart from maybe a couple of switches I would have made, I don't know if I would have put in the ninja guy, or I don't know if I would have put in I don't even know who I would switch out. That's how default good all around I think it is. The only thing I think is him, and even then I don't even know if I completely agree with that. That's kind of like maybe, because I don't even know who else would replace him. The only one that you could replace technically is Zangetsu, but Zangetsu is such a straight bullet, and he's not as turn-around-y or on a high level striking as the ninja dude or Chigiri, to the point where it would just be a detriment putting him in. You put in those other players for when shit changes. But if you're going in as the default, that's when you know shit changes. So that's just that. That's just my opinion. That's not my opinion. That's what I truly think it is. I actually think that. I objectively think that this should be the default. This is the default. Anyways, Sorry, I went on a whole tirade there about the fucking team. Holy fucking shit, man. But, oh my god. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I feel bad for the Nigerian team. Also, though, with Onazi have such a front and center, and with one of his boys in one of the backstories talking about how, like, oh, if we want, like, the Nigerian team to get better, we might actually have to, like, cut some people for other people. I think Onazi and the Nigerian team are going to have their Reo and Nagi moment. They're going to have their moment where they realize, and I think Onazi kind of had it too, where he's just like, oh, I think, like, here's what I think is going to happen. Two things are going to happen with Onazi going forward after this World Cup. I think that either Onazi is going to build up such an ego, and I think he's going to want to better himself somewhere else. Like, I think he'll show out enough that recruiters will want to put him in a league somewhere, and I think he'll end up being in the same league as Asagi at some point, because it has to be a club arc, right, that comes up after this, I would assume. So I think Onazi will get, like, more of a taste of, like, actual play outside of, like, the African League, because I think what will happen is they'll look at it and they'll be like, oh yeah, well, the World Cup's like the top of the top, right? That's the top of the nation. So, like, I'm gonna, like, try to play at, like, the club level and see how that is. And he'll be utterly outclassed by so many people. He'll realize he'll need a change, and he might be just as, like, devious as Nagi and Asagi. That by the time we get to the proper World Cup, Onazi will be a fucking monster. Either that, or he will double down on his philosophy of trying to be with his friends, that he is going to push his friends so far that they will all be demons. And honestly, I kind of want the latter. I'm being honest with you. I think for Blue Lock, it makes sense for him to go for the former, but I think the idea of having ideologies clashing a lot would be nice. I think it'd be good for Onazi to double down on that and been like, he's like, you're right, you know, we need to be better, we need stuff, and, like, his friend being like, no, you need to be, like, grow up with people. It's like, no, I don't need to be better, we need to be better, we're going to work with each other, we're going to make the best of it, like, we're going to grow, and him prove that, like, hey, that could potentially work. They just need to develop their own skills and shit like that to a certain point. I would like to see that, honestly. I would like to see them grow like that, and hopefully see them back so they can actually, like, see properly of what happens. Oh yeah, I didn't bring up the last goal. They didn't need to do that. I'm not gonna lie. The 3 goals, I'm like, okay, fine, and I get it. Asagi needed his goal. He's the last goal merchant, as many people are calling him. But they didn't need to do that to Nigeria. That was the point. I'm like, okay, all right. I think we're doing a little bit too much now. I think we're being a little bit petty to Nigeria. Because why did this motherfucker, when he missed the goal, recover it, as everyone was like, well, that's the end of the game, then go, recover the ball on the second touch, decides to bomb it down the fucking field alongside Bajira as they're passing back and forth with each other. Bajira sends him a pass, and he just outright copies Onazi's fucking move, and then makes a fucking goal. What kind of bullshittery, chicanery shit is this? Listen, I get it. Isagi, Slursagi, this man is a fucking monster, but this was like the next level of petty. This I think was worse than any type of shit he's said or done so far in Blue Lock, because everything else at least was the means to winning. Like, he was always somewhat the underdog, or like coming back to the point where, like, oh, it's like a tight match, or like it's a close game, like, you know, type shit like that, to where like he kind of has to bring out the monster inside of him. Like, a good example is when he had to team up with Kaiser, and he basically became in that moment the Demon King. Like, this motherfucker brings it out when he needs it the most. He didn't need it the most here. That motherfucker decided to just stunt on Nigeria as they're like, oh well, I guess this is the end of the game. It's like, boy, I'm sorry, the timer is not stopped, and we got extra time. Do you think I'm gonna leave this game without making a mark, without making a single fucking goal? Abso-fucking-lutely not. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do my thing. And that motherfucker did. That motherfucker did in the most pettiest display possible. That shit was insane. I appreciate it. I love it. I'm not saying I hate it. This is why we love Asagi. This is why people love Asagi. And I love Asagi for that. He's not my favorite, but like, arguably like top 5, maybe top 3, depending on which day and what happens in the manga. And, to be fair, after that chapter, he was definitely top 3. Because there's no reason for you to be that petty. There's no reason for you to be that petty. There's no reason for you to be that distraught. There's no reason for you to be that much of a dick. But I appreciate it because that is the sport of soccer. Now, why I think Nigeria is going to go down the friendship route is because Onazi was still pretty positive. I was kind of hoping for an Onazi crash out, but that didn't necessarily happen. So I was like, that's fine. He doesn't need to crash out. He doesn't need to fucking be like, fucking, and hella mad. I mean, like, I kind of appreciate it. He was just like, you know what? Thank you for teaching me. I actually learned a lot. No, well, not teaching me. He's like, you know what? I learned a lot in this match, and I'm coming back for you, Asagi. I promise you that. And he's like, hey, I can't wait for that day, bruh. So we'll see when that comes down the line. Again, I think the World Cup, we'll see a lot of cool shit within the U20 World Cup. But I think a lot of players that we're going to see be like outspoken, we're really going to see definitely flourish a lot more within the club arc. So that will be interesting. But then also there's the aftermath of this, right? Where everyone, obviously, it's Japan starting the World Cup alongside Nigeria. It's the no Blue Lock performance to see how everything went. So of course we have many people looking over it. We had Sai, who was watching it, unimpressed because they thought they can make 5-0. I thought that was funny because it was just like, okay, Sai, sure. Okay, Sai. Sure, buddy. Like, yes, they could make 5-0. And that's the mentality that we want. But holy shit, god damn it. Like, let's chill, bruh. Like, we've already killed Nigeria. Let's not, kill them more. We have, which I don't know where I heard this. I heard something that the author said that we aren't going to be seeing Kaiser for a while, which made abso-fucking-lutely no sense, given the fact that if he's a new Gen 11 and he's able to play in the U20 World Cup, why wouldn't we see him in the U20 World Cup? That actually makes no sense to me. So, I'm very interested to see that because we also saw Kaiser very mad, very angry, wanting to get his get back. So I'm glad we got to see Kaiser confirming that he is in the U20 World Cup somewhere watching. Wish we got to see more of the new Gen 11s pop out, which I'm kind of upset that we did. And then I think after that, we saw Loki and Gabriel as they were talking about the match, obviously getting prepared, which, by the way, God, so much of the Blue Lock shit in the community. I saw somewhere that people were like, oh, Loki's a master, but remember, he's not a new Gen 11. Loki's not a new Gen 11. He's like a master. He doesn't really count. We've only seen like a couple. Loki was 17 when he came. Loki is considered close to Noah in terms of skill. What the fuck do you mean this motherfucker is not part of the new Gen 11? And I'm so glad that that last arc got confirmed, because on the bottom it says new Gen 11 player Loki. Yeah, no fucking shit, Loki's a new Gen 11 player. I don't know where people make this fucking assumption, where it's just like, well, Loki wasn't put like that, blah, 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 blah. So, like, we don't really know. No! He is a new Gen 11! Where did we confirm this. Now, the fact Gabriel is not considered the new Gen 11 to me is kind of insane. I was kind of surprised, if I'm going to be honest with you, because I would have assumed he would be part of the new Gen 11, if I'm being completely honest with you. But I guess not. I guess Loki's not part of the new Gen. I guess Gabriel is not a new Gen 11 considered. I mean, there is a very strong argument to just be made that he is not as big or not as talented yet to be considered like a proper U20 player, which, if you want to go by that parameter, sure, I guess then we can go by that parameter. Fuck it, why not? But yeah, that just threw me the fuck off. I sat there, I was like, wait, okay then. All right then, sure. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty. No. I didn't think that was all of it, because the big thing that we're doing. Jesus Christ, my stream has been cutting in and out. I'm just realizing this. Holy fucking shit, man. Holy fucking shit. My internet should not be this bad. I do not know why. I do not know why. It's probably because I'm double streaming on TikTok, if I'm being completely honest, which does nothing for me. But yeah, that's whatever. Anyways, no, what was else? Oh, yes. So there was an arc that I saw, or like it's okay. So like the arc is technically released right now, right? The arc is technically released, but it's not in English. So I don't know any of the actual dialogue that's actually like within the actual shit, but I do have two thoughts. So the newest chapter that we're gonna get soon, at least translated into English, hopefully soon, is the fact that, or this might be the most recent chapter in general, I'm not 100% sure, but we finally start seeing like the process of how the side B stuff is going, and we see Kira come and he's reminiscing about how he got eliminated very early, so this is his chance to come back and stuff like that, and yada yada yada. Oh Jesus Christ. And like we see some of the other players that we've seen. My first thought with that is, why the fuck do we have a Dutch player attempting this U20 bullshit? Like, maybe I'm just being kind of an asshole when it comes to this. No, actually, no, I'm not being an asshole. So the whole point of Blue Lock, right, is supposed to focus like on like Japan and specifically getting good Japan players. So my thing with it is that I was okay with side B existing. Obviously, it goes in contention with the way that like Blue Lock is actually supposed to work, but it still makes like somewhat kind of sense, right? About like the whole thing, because it's like it's still inside of the whole like the system that Japan is building and yada yada yada. But then also we eventually get to a fucking point. We eventually get to a point now where we have a Dutch player that's in side B. Now I don't know if that's to just encourage people or not. And like I also need to check this again, because if that's the case, this might be, it might give some implication for also future arcs as well, depending on how stuff goes. Can a player play for a national soccer team in the World Cup if they are a citizen but not born there? Yes, a player can play for a World Cup national soccer team without being born there, as long as they are a citizen and meet specific eligibility criteria set by FIFA. In Blue Lock's case, this would be FIFA. Parent or so the eligibility rules would be parent or guardian. A player is eligible if they have a parent or grandparent who is born in the country. So technically, I would be eligible to be part of the Haitian team, which would be crazy. That would be legitimately fucking crazy. I'm not gonna lie, but also I'm not gonna lie. I'm a fat piece of fucking shit. I can't do that. I played soccer back in elementary and middle school, and then switched over to American football when I was in high school. So, but like, for context, I was a lineman, and then eventually switched to safety because I was the tallest person in my school. For context, for one of the tallest people playing, so I had to be safety. For context, I'm like barely 6 feet, which is so that's kind of insane. Residency: a player who is a citizen can be eligible if they have lived in the country for a certain amount of time. The rule is a continuous 5 years residency period after the age of 18. Citizenship: the player must hold permanent nationality, which is typically established through possessing a passport and no senior level cap tie. To switch national teams, a player must not have played in a senior level competitive match for their previous national team. They can play in non-competitive matches or youth level games and still switch. Okay, that's very interesting then. So it technically makes sense. I had the feeling, I forgot if it was the case, but I had the potential feeling of like, okay, so if they decide to go ahead and do this, I would assume that Basuda and them would go ahead and pull people from, like, there's a chance that this Dutch dude has either like half Japanese or has been in Japan for a while now. There's like a good chance that that's the case and shit like that, right? So there's like that good chance, and then also as well, there is the potential chance that this whole thing, that like I would assume that anybody who is in there is at least eligible enough to play for Japan. Like they're eligible enough to play for Japan and shit like that. Which I think was always the kind of the assumption for Oliver. Because I don't know why. I feel like he's half British, but I might be wrong. He looks half British. This is me shooting out of the hip from like out of nowhere. But like I always assumed like Aiku was always like half British, half Japanese, and I feel like that's the case. I always felt like that was the case. Regardless, unimportant. But we see Nagi. No. We do see Nagi, but we see Kita and that Dutch player, from my knowledge, like interacting with each other, talking. I don't know what the fuck they talk about. I assume he'll mention why he's there in the first place, which I don't even know if he was in the system, because I feel like there was a lot of people we just didn't generally see. So there could be an actual good chance that dude was in the Blue Lock system, because I assume Basuda's only allowed to pull from the Blue Lock players that were actually in there, because if he's pulling out from like outside, I think that's fucking insane. I think that's insane if he's pulling people from like outside of Blue Lock, because at that point now we're just getting ridiculous with it. But we do see them charging for the side B place, which is the locker room. And we also see Nagi sitting there, already prepared, already fucking in there. So that makes me feel like he's already part of the Basuda 3. That kind of what it makes me feel like. But Basuda probably already put him in there for whatever reason. So this next portion, we're probably going to get a break from the World Cup stuff. And we're probably going to get a good amount of side B stuff. That's what I'm assuming happens. I think it's going to be a back and forth of, we're probably going to go through one portion of the side B stuff, then we're going to get the France match. Then we're going to go through a good portion of the side B stuff again. Then we're going to get the French match. Then we're going to go through the final part of the side B stuff. And then once the knockout stages is done, because I think the side B stuff is supposed to end once the group stage is ended, then I think we'll see like that merging. Unless all the side B stuff is happening in the first match, I don't know completely. I don't know the context. I don't know fully off the rip or off the hand like that. But there's every chance that could potentially be the case. But overall thoughts, it was good. I don't know who thought Nigeria was gonna win. If you did, I'm sorry for your delusion. This is the default team. It has to be. If you don't think that, you're also delusional. They did not have to do Nigeria like that, but I understand why they did. Loki is the new Gen 11. All right, let's end that conversation right the fuck there. I don't know why people were so adamant he wasn't. Loki was 17 when at the time. Duh. I should give my prediction on how I think this is going to turn out. So this is what I think is going to happen. Now that we've seen Kaiser and they brought up Kaiser, I feel like Kaiser has to face. Germany has to face Japan at some point. I feel like that's somewhat of an inevitability. And so what I think is going to happen is they'll play France. And I think they'll lose to France. Because I think they'll need to be knocked down. I think they'll get a bit cocky with France. And obviously, I think a lot of people already assumed they were going to lose to France. Now that we know that France has 2 new Gen 11s and not Gabriel, they have another one named Hugo. So arguably, I would argue they have 2 officially recognized new Gen 11s with basically 3 new Gen 11 level talent, which I don't know how they're beating that. Unless they're willing to, which Sai's not playing in the group round. Sai's only playing in the knockout rounds. So, they're going to get fucking demolished. And I think England, which my theory is, I think Japan and England are going to tie. I think they're going to tie. Or they're going to go to a draw. Can you draw in the World Cup? I actually... God, Google's helping me so much right now. I'm going to be honest. I think we've seen draws. It's just draws don't happen in the knockout stages. Can you draw in the group stage of the World Cup? Because I assume there's not shootouts. Yes, teams can draw in the stage of World Cup. And it's a common result. A draw earns 1... Okay, yes. So... Okay, yeah, so they do draw. So I think what's going to happen is they're going to lose to France, and France is going to stun on them. I don't think they're going to stun. Do I think they're going to stun on them? I actually don't know. I think what's going to happen is that they'll probably switch it to some type of defense, more of a defensive stuff to stop them. It's not going to really work, and they'll probably be beaten 3-0 or 3-1. 3-1. I think they'll get. I think they'll get their goals in, but I think they'll lose 3-2. 3-1 or 3-2. And then they'll play France. And I think they'll be in the same position as France is. I think they'll be 1-1 and France will be 1-1. Because I think England will be 1-1. Because I think England will also beat Nigeria, but I also think they won't beat France. So I think it's one of those things of just Nigeria is knocked out and France basically qualified for the knockout round. So that match is going to determine who fucking makes it past the group round. And I think that's going to be the most high tension spot. And I think that's the one that potentially... Actually, I'm rethinking it now. Because if that is potentially going to be the super big high spot, I don't know if they'll want to draw. Japan might beat England. Because I think it'll be more satisfactory if they do. Or damn, I don't know. Because I feel like a draw will feel anticlimactic, but I also feel like theme-wise it'll feel good. I think theme-wise it'll fit right because I think they'll draw, but I think Japan will make it through because of goal. Oh, I need to call it soon. Because of goal differentials. That's how's it going in my mind? Because I think the goal differentials will be the big difference out of everything, right? I think they'll draw, but Japan will make it purely off of goals. And they'll kind of sit there being like, oh my god, we barely made it through the skin of our fucking teeth. And then I think they'll go against Germany. And win. I think they'll go against Brazil, hold on. Actually, now that I'm also thinking about it, if Loki is that talented and considered a new Gen 11, there is no way Lavio is not. Because I'm pretty sure Lavio is also under 20. What am I looking at? How old is Lavio from Blue Lock? Oh, he's 29. Never fucking mind. Never mind. Okay, then in that case, they will probably face... I think they'll face Italy, because I feel like Don Lorenzo didn't show up at the World Cup, in the NEL arc, so I feel like he has to show off in the World Cup at least. But I think Japan's beating them through shootout. Italy might be the defensive team. I think they'll also draw with Italy, and they'll be the shootout. And I think they'll go against Germany, and I think they'll actually beat Germany. It'll be a close game, but I think they'll beat it in like extra time. I think it'll be that situation. And then they'll go against Spain, and they'll get fucking obliterated, because I think Bunny's gonna destroy them. I think Bunny's going to destroy the fuck out of Blue Lock, and it's not even going to be a contest. It's going to be like just a straight fucking massacre. So yeah, that's what I think it is. So to recap, my predictions for how I think the U20 World Cup arc is going to go. They obviously beat Nigeria. Everyone predicted that. They're going to lose to France 3-2. They're going to tie with England 2-2. And they're going to win off of goal differentials. Then they'll face Italy, where we'll see Don Lorenzo show out, but he'll also lose. Then they'll go against Germany, and that will be the upset that they need to go in the momentum for Spain, and then Spain will just obliterate them. Now, how people like Sai and Nagi and the rest of the Bundesliga 3 will play into that, I have no clue, but I think that's the path. France, they lose. England, they win. No, England, they tie, but they win because of goal differentials. They'll tie with... Oh my god. Yeah, I need to call it soon. Holy shit. Okay, Jesus Christ. Let me restate that. Holy shit. Yes. Lose to France. Tie with England, but make it through the group stages because of goal differentials. Tie with Italy, but then we'll win in shootouts. And then beat Germany because of Kaiser. And then lose to Spain in like amazing fashion. So that will take them to, because if it's if I'm not mistaken, Italy will be 32, Germany will be 16. They'll make it to the final 8. And then they'll lose. That will be my prediction. And then it'll be... Will it be able to be Germany, France? Maybe. I don't know. Actually, it'd be very interesting. You could, depending on how that bracket goes, I wonder if it's a chance. I don't know if it's happened before, but I wonder if it's a chance. Hold on. God damn it, I'm Googling so much shit. Could two teams in the World Cup who played each other in the group stages play again in the knockout rounds? No, two teams that played each other in the World Cup group stages cannot play each other again in the knockout rounds. Okay, I was about to say, because I was like, I actually don't think I've ever seen that before. So we won't see France again. We won't see England again. So yeah, I'm keeping that. lose to France, tie with England, get out of group stages because of goal differentials, tie with Italy, but win because of free kicks, beat Germany, and then lose to Spain, and lose to Spain. That's it. That's my goal. That is my predictions. Okay, now I need to fucking leave because I am fucking dying. Alright, I have maxed out what my voice can do today, and I don't think I'm going to be talking for the rest of the day. So I need to fucking go. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate the conversation. I appreciate all of that. Shout out to Zafira. Again, she's amazing. If you're watching, go check her out. She makes amazing content. She draws amazing stuff. She draws my little emotes that we use in the chat. She's an amazing artist. Go follow her. Great community. Go join the Dragooners over there because she's great. She's awesome. She's cool. Thank you guys for joining this podcast as well. If you want to check out more of my content, go ahead and check that out in the link in the description below or on the links on all of my bios. That will take you to my main stuff. I just put up a review for My Happy Marriage, so go ahead and check all of that out. And as well, thank you to the lovely people over at Infinity Cast, the people who I work with, my team. They are the ones that help me put on this live. They're the ones that help me put on this podcast. They're the ones that put up with my inconsistent bullshit because for some reason they fucking do, and I love them for it, and I know I gotta get better. I apologize, you guys, for that. I really do. But go check out Infinity Cast. We actually just put out our Call of Cthulhu series completely now. I think episode 3 just came out, and I'm a part of it. David, aka This Isn't My Cult, is a part of it. We have a bunch of other community members and team members that are a part of it. It was a wonderful time. It was great. I played a Southern man. There was another Irishman who played a Scottish man. Not Scottish man. There was another Irishman who played another Southern man. We were both were Southern drunks, and we somehow fought a fucking monster together, and it was fucking amazing and cool, and we loved it so much. So please go check that out. Please go check out that love. Thank you for all, appreciate it, and I will see you all within the next one. Peace. Bye-bye, arrivederci. Have a good morning, evening, night, wherever you guys reside, and I will see you within the next stream. I will be streaming consistently again this week. I promise you. Bye-bye.